Well, how does the World Economic Forum actually wield influence? Like, what works there? How does it work?
It's a community consisting of you, the politicians who are here. We have created strong, trustful relationships practically with every international organization, with every government.
So that was Joe asking the perfect question, and Klaus Schwab unknowingly answering the question that's probably been on your mind as much as it's been on mine. How does the World Economic Forum wield their influence? Let's go to L. Raphael Riff, president of MIT, ex-Vice President Al Gore, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of Canada, Mark Benioff, the Chair and CEO of Salesforce, Christine Lagarde, President of the Central European Bank, Lawrence D. Fink, Chairman and CEO of BlackRock. Last but not least, I was looking at her name and it said HM, and I was like, what's HM mean? And it means Her Majesty, Queen Rania Al Abdul of the Hashemet Kingdom of Jordan, a queen. So when we ask the question of how they wield their influence, this is how. But this is not all. There's much more. What I just named to you, not even the members. That's just some of the board of trustees. There's more.
I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin of the New York Times and CNBC. Your Excellency, Trans Hong Ha is here. He is the Deputy Prime Minister of Vietnam. Ann Beath Twitterum is the Minister of International Development of Norway. Ramon LaGuardia is here. He's the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of PepsiCo, of course. And then Raj Kumar Singh is the Minister of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy of India.
My name is Jeff Cutmore. I do a program on CNBC. And Kristalina Georgieva, the Managing Director of the IMF. Bruno Le Maire, the French Finance Minister. Larry Summers. Now in education, of course, but former Treasury Secretary.
And then finally, Idris Elba is here. He's an actor, of course.
Well. Isn't it Idris Elba? Isn't it? Isn't it that Idris Elba there, isn't it? Every time a government official says something, I stay on the lookout for how fast a celebrity is going to start preaching the exact same thing. Besides, I didn't actually know there was any celebrities involved in the World Economic Forum. But now that I see Idris Elba there, it all starts to make a little more sense. And it makes even more sense when I play this clip for you.
I also happen to be an entertainer who has an incredible soapbox. These wonderful gentlemen and lady in front of us are very esteemed in their professions, but they don't know The Rock. I know The Rock. And I can call The Rock and amplify things my esteemed colleagues cannot.
Oh, that accent, it's just that accent. Amplify things my esteemed colleagues cannot. That's exactly what these celebrities do. They have a bigger soapbox, which means they're more idolized than government officials or any random person that would be on the board of anything or a panel of anything to do with the World Economic Forum. People don't look up to CFOs. People don't look up to manager directors of the IMF. They don't even know what the IMF is, but they know who Idris Elba is. They know who The Rock is, and they'll listen to those people when they have something to say. That's why you see these guys. That's why sometimes you'll see like Matthew McConaughey talking about gun control, and you're like, why does Matthew McConaughey care? Or you'll hear Sean Penn talking about how the world should be, and you're like, who? Dave Chappelle, he had the perfect thing, I need to know what Ja Rule thinks of all this. Because it's like, who cares what these people have to say? But that's maybe how you and I feel. But there's many people, young people, and even older people our age, who actually do care what these celebrities have to say about these topics, which is kind of crazy, but also kind of not. If you grow up watching somebody all the time, You grow up listening to somebody, going to see their movies, seeing your parents have positive reactions to them, your siblings, your friends at school. You're going to listen to them.
And to all the women and all the men with daughters and sisters and mothers, everybody, no matter how you identify, now is your chance to vote against Donald Trump.
Hey, so we are all very stressed out about this election, rightfully so. I feel you. But allow me to be the 1 millionth person to remind you that tomorrow is your last chance to make your voice heard and to make your vote count. So if you haven't voted yet, please do. And stay safe, wear a mask.
Hey everybody, this is Michael Keaton, your fellow Pennsylvania. This is it. It's come down to us. We get the chance to be the hero right now. The buzzer beater, the walk-off. Don't just do it for Joe and Kamala. Do it for your little brother, your little sister. Do it for the next generation. Do it for the environment.
I love how these celebrities work. They'll just say, like, do it for anything. Man, do it for the environment, man. You gotta do it for hats, bro. I mean, you gotta do it for toques and for baseball hats, and you gotta do it for street lights and stop signs. You gotta do it for t-shirts, man. If you don't do it for t-shirts, what are you gonna do it for? Like, let's get back into what we were talking about before. How does the World Economic Forum work?
It was founded on the 24th of January 1971 by German engineer and economist Klaus Schwab. Jesus, he founded that in 71? The foundation, which is mostly funded by its 1,000 member companies, typically global enterprises with more than $5 billion US dollars in turnover, as well as public subsidies. I'd like to find out what those subsidies are. Views its own mission as improving the state of the world by engaging business, political, academic, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. Boy, does that sound gross.
Yeah.
If you feel like Joe, and that sounds gross to you too, well, you're right. It is kind of gross. Because like so many of us have said, people in the comment section, people I've met, myself, these people are unelected. They just kind of decided to get together and they were like, well, we have enough control that we can decide how things are going to go, and we'll do that. And not only will we decide where things will go, we'll decide what the problems are. And we'll decide what the solutions are. And we'll decide if those solutions impact many or few. It's actually ridiculous. But even more so ridiculous is the leader of the entire thing. And the reason that I chose the clip that I chose is because Joe goes in on this leader.
Like, people didn't know about the World Economic Forum 6-7 years ago. At least most people didn't. They didn't hear about it. They didn't hear about Klaus Schwab and, you will own nothing and you will be happy. When you hear him say stuff like that and hear them talk about young global leaders, you're like, what is happening here? Like, you seem like a bad guy in a science fiction movie. Like, he wears that crazy outfit that I show you, the picture we have in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, could you be any more obvious that you're fucking insane? Like, you're an insane, megalomaniacal dictator type character who wants to run the world, and you're literally dressing like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, there's got to be some weird sexual fetishism thing going on there.
Pull that
too.
picture up, Jamie. Yeah. You know that nutty picture. That picture is so wild. Every time I go to take a leak, I look at that picture. That's why it's there. Because I'm like, what kind of freak shit is that guy into when no one's around? Because if you're dressing like that publicly and you're telling people they're going to eat bugs and that you're going to own nothing and everyone and then when people catch you on it, you go, those are conspiracy theories. We have nothing to say to those things. Like, look at that fucking outfit. He looks like a space druid.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that he chose to leave his house dressed like that, like, yes, I will adjust the peons. All the public needs to know that we are in control.
And let's just give it a quick breakdown, because the whole point of this video was, how do the World Economic Forum members go about wielding their influence? Well, they are ultra rich, they are ultra elite, they are the head of industries, they are the royalty in some cases, they're the heads of government. And then on top of that, Their conferences are not open to the public. The only way that they're open to the public is the public watching via live stream, which is basically nothing. If you want to become a member, it will go anywhere from $5,000 or $10,000 to $27,000 if you want to acquire a membership. And even then, you have to pretty much be head of an industry. So like if you work for a company right now, you have to become the head of that company for years and demonstrate leadership for years just to be considered. So basically, they make it so the 99% of people have no say, have no entry, and have no choice but to sit back and watch via YouTube. That's how they wield their influence. They decide what our problems are, they decide what our solutions are, and they have nobody to stand in their way because, like KLAUS said at the beginning of this video, they pretty much have connection with every government in the world. So when it comes to people thinking that these people don't have a lot of influence, you're dead wrong. Just look into it. What I've mentioned in terms of the people is just the tip of the iceberg. It goes way deeper, way more influence. And even if you just look into the companies that were mentioned, the royalty that was mentioned, you'll see that these people have a tight grasp on a lot of the world. The only thing that we have is numbers. And that's why it's so important for people to really take note of what Dr. Peterson is doing. He's trying to start the exact same thing. The only difference is he wants the public to be involved. He wants the public to help answer these questions. And he wants the public to help pose what questions are to be asked. Because he understands that we're the ones that suffer, that we're the ones that are closest to the problem, because we're the ones that are affected. Let's be honest. Somebody who's super rich, like we can act like, oh, the planet's going to just burn up and disappear. It's not going to happen for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. The things that are going to impact the planet and the people the most, the people that it's going to affect are going to be us. If you're super rich and you can afford a private jet and mansions and houses and this and that and all sorts of extreme, crazy luxuries, you're going to be just fine. You really are. You know what I mean? Water rises in a place, you can move to another place. You could build a house in a mountain. There's so many options for these people. It's us that gets affected. So I won't harp on it, but what Dr. Peterson's doing is absolutely amazing. Even if it doesn't work out, it just shows us, the 99%, that there is options and there should be options. And there should be more than two. And there should be more than one. And we should have a say in every single one that comes up. Anyways, this was episode 1940 with Joe Rogan, Matt Taibbi. You stayed this long, you get the timestamp. The big chunk of time where they were talking about the World Economic Forum. It goes from 1 hour, 10 minutes, 20 seconds, all the way to 1 hour, 32 minutes, 50 seconds. And anyways, I'm out. Part 4 coming soon. No, this is part 4. No, part 4 coming soon. I'm out.